Here is an example of data conversion for many different scanners. In my source folder, I have data from GE, Philips, and Siemens. I will specify my destination and also specify the metadata. Those can also be specified through parameter text file. Except for the Siemens HRT, which uses ECAT2NI, every other cases we call DCM2NIX for PET, as a wrapper around DCM2NIX. We simply execute and disrupt. As DCM2NIX is running, we can also see various warning messages. Those are the warning from the wrapper, which tells you the difference between the metadata that you specify and the metadata that are extracted automatically from the TICOM tags. This will allow you, if any, to fix errors in the metadata. Here is an example of data conversion. We start from source data, typically data located on your server. For instance, here we can see all sorts of subjects collected. Then I say where I want to create my BIDS data. And I also have an Excel sheet, in this case, for the metadata, which contains my subject ID, and also the injected dose, mass, and radioactivity. Then I simply loop across all my subjects. Once I've got the ID, I simply have to load the file and call the data conversion tool. So here I've got two subjects for which we collected the data on the Siemens biograph, and every other subjects were collected on the Siemens HRT. In both cases, once I have my subject, I call get PET metadata, and I input the radioactivity, the injected mass, and the molar activity. In the first case, I call DCM2NIX for PET. In the second case, being ECAT file.v, I call ECAT2NI. Now this is very short because this function from the library calls those text files, which include already all the reconstruction parameters and so on that I want to put into BIDS. Of course, I could pass on all this information, but using text files is much faster, easier, and more reproducible across all subjects. Now, the result of this is a structure with all my subjects, inside which I have my PET data as nifty JSON and also a JSON file. The JSON file, of course, contains all the relevant information about how it was converted, as well as all the BIDS metadata. And of course, we have the PET data into Nifty. We start with our folder Open Your PET Phantoms. Now in there you can see in the source data we've got many different types of scanners. And what we want to do is generate a new subject folder which follow BIDS. So here we make sure that we have PEP, which is installed, which is the case here. So we just check it. And now this is done. I use PEP to install our library. In this case, this is called PET2BIDS. And then I will call the function DCM2NIX for PET. I input my source folder, I input my destination folder called test, and a bunch of parameters, most importantly, the metadata regarding the radio tracer. So, for instance, the radionucleotide, the radioactivity, injected mass, and molar activity. So here, because I changed them, it first tried to install the library. Now it's done. We can check tests, we can check the metadata, and we can see that it has extracted many different parameters and added to the DICOM tags, which are bits compliant, the metadata.